One. Okay, here we go. We are almost done, Dave, with this. Let's intro, and then we're going to start talking about this episode.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Hey, welcome to Late Horror Show. Our chat is not working on Restream. There is a glitch, and I don't get to see the chat. So I might have to just turn that off, and me and Dave are going to go sideways. And I will watch us on the live stream. So that kind of sucks, Dave, right?
I'm muting myself because I'm getting my YouTube set up so I can see the chat off to the right.
Yes. So I apologize to anybody. This first time, I think the chat hasn't actually worked during one of these live streams. So Restream must have some kind of glitch going on. But anyways, we're getting towards the end here of Kolchak. One more episode remaining, Dave, and this is weird looking at the YouTube feed and not the Restream feed. Oh my gosh. But hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Horror Show. I'm Dino, and that is Dave Plouffe. Gained the 5 pounds that Vincenzo lost.
That was such a great part of the episode.
I
love it. Different?
What's that?
I said in Vincenzo's voice, notice anything different?
Oh my God! When
everyone just looks at each other like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I see anything different. Hey, I do see the chat though. I am on YouTube, so I do see the chat. Hello, Sweet Indigo, Left-Handed Jedi, Mr. Ed, Edward Stewart, Scott's Life. Got a lot of people here. Raj Ram, what's going on? Won't be able to highlight the chats, but I will see what you guys are saying. Sweet Indigo, Connie, Harry, Nathan. Good to see everybody. Black Roses, good to see you. Yeah. So it is a little flub going on there. Don't know what to say about that. But anyways, I love the donut bribe. Oh yes, guys, if you want. Oh, that was so funny. The donut bribe, Dave. But yeah, this episode. Listen. Well, first it aired March 14th, 1975. The Youth Killer. It is episode 20, and we got one more left. And the last one, Dave, looks pretty funny with this lizard-like creature.
I can't wait.
Oh, it's going to be so.
I can wait though, because it's the last untouched bastion of Kolchak. You know, it's just like they still have a Christmas present under the tree to be unwrapped, but after that, Christmas is over.
Yeah, and you know, I got this feeling, and hello, Mina's mom won. What is going on? First time joining the live chat. Good to have you here. Yes, it's a sad day when we're coming to the end of the Kolchak series here, but we're also going to have a bottom five, top 5 episodes, and that should be fun. And you know what, Dave, there'll be other things to talk about when it comes to the entire run of the Kolchak series, I think, down the line.
Oh yeah.
We'll make sure we do something about that. And thank you, Raj Ram. Big old heart. Here's to a great show with my Late Horror Show family. Thank you. I might also say, please, if you get a chance after the stream's over, please leave a comment. As big as the channel is and everything, I literally had 2 comments last night, and I think 4 in the past 2 days. It's like, I don't know. We need more than that. The YouTube's going, well, you know what? Let's flush this channel. Gets no comments. I don't know. So anyways, but this was not, it was an okay episode. I mean, I know we're coming to the end here, Dave, but it was kind of flat. Kathy Lee Crosby kind of looked.
Did we watch the same episode?
Why did you think this was
I
spectacular?
really enjoyed this episode.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
And
we can talk about, and I'll let you go on and talk about what this is about, and
I
with
thought it was fantastic. It was perfect cheese. It was great. And I want to say hello to Tony Santos. He is from Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, where Laverne and Shirley hails from. Hey, Shlomio Shlomazo. Hey, Tony Santos, what's up? And Black Roses, member for 12 months at level 2 support. 1 year. Black Roses. Love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. And again, thank you to Rajram.
Nathan is sad because he joined right when we started talking about the Night Stalker series. And
okay.
Yeah,
you got a lot to catch up on. 10 years, actually. And Sin City Jim, what is going on? Good to see you. It's funny that a lot of the old time radio streams, 12-hour streams that I've played, which, in its entirety are collections of like Boston Blackie, the Falcon and stuff like that, are still there. But I look back on the analytics and nobody's watching them. Nobody's watching them at all. I think they look to see who's gone live at night. And tonight there won't be a live stream, but please go and check out something from the archive if you would, and do a comment or so. But we're here to talk about Kolchak right now. And yeah, Dave, I'm going to hand it off to you. We get Gordy, the mortician, in this episode, flashback to earlier on. And we get Miss Emily.
We do. Miss Emily's back. I was so worried about her. But also there is one... Right, actually, when Vincenzo is saying, hey, I lost 5 pounds, I'm on a diet, I'm doing yoga.
Yeah.
It's the last picture of all 4 of those together. Kolchak, Miss Emily, Updike.
Nothing in the last season, huh? I mean, the last episode.
This is the last episode. They're all in the same show.
Oh, boy. Okay. So no more Miss Emily. So sad.
No more Updike.
No more Updike. Okay.
Leaves. Yeah. Okay. He is released from his contract in episode 19.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. But I tell you what, Miss Emily, there is a funny part later on with Vincenzo, and I guess we'll talk about when we get to it. But when he goes, it's enough. Well, see, I shouldn't even bring it up now about the 90-year-old.
Yeah, that was an evil look. That could have turned you to stone.
Yeah, I wrote it down, so we'll talk about it later on. I felt so bad for Miss Emily, but go ahead, Dave. Tell me what you liked about this. It's basically just people grow. I mean, I thought it was a little cheesy. You're right with that. The cheese where they grow from young to old to 100 years old, like really quick, and they show it. We just go ahead, Dave. Start talking.
Now that you brought that up, during the intro, I was going to do exercises.
Oh, it reminded me of what's the big exercise dude from the 50s and 60s?
Jack LaLanne?
Jack LaLanne, yeah. It was reminding me a little bit like that because there's a lot of leisure suits in this.
There is. And there's some really short shorts, but it's on the guys.
Yeah, no, short shorts on guys.
Not a good look.
No, not a good look. And
excuse me while I have some Dr. Pepper cotton candy.
Oh, still got that. Yes, mine's somewhere. Slowly, like a little piece of cotton. Yeah, every now and then. But yeah, short shorts for guys, definitely a no-no. Also, half shirts. Never should a guy, I don't care how ripped the abs are, take the shirt off, but not a half shirt. Anyways, I'm so precise. Here's to our getting closer to 250K subs, Dino. Thank you, Raj Ram. Really appreciate that. Comments would get us there really quick, but it's the one thing in the overall analytics that I look at and I go, I can't believe this. I can't believe it. But go ahead, Dave. Give me your spiel and your schmear, like Kolchak said in this episode. The schmear. Okay,
March 13th, 1975 is what we're up against. Although the
what a good year.
Actually takes place in the fall, which is kind of funny because they mentioned it's like getting close to wintertime. But this is basically a woman looking for eternal youth. And we find out in the end of the episode that she's actually one of the Greek goddesses. Whoa, a little dizzy now.
Sorry, just seeing if I don't know why that
really
chat's not working. It's bothering me.
And so we open up, and Kathy Lee Crosby is dressed gorgeously in this like toga thing, and there's this little strap, and it's just
I don't know about the sacks under her eyes, though. I mean, she has.
Well, that was the funny part. I'm like, out of all the things they did to make her look old, it's just like, oh, they put some lines under her eye. I'm like, this is like, hey, we already lost the makeup person. What can we do to make her look old?
Right. So, yeah, it's just like sacks under her eyes. That's every time I age, it's a sacks under her eyes. And she's been alive how long? And she's got to kill somebody almost every night, Dave.
I know it. And we thought like the person in the Night Strangler, you know, comes up every 21 years for 7 victims. But this person's knocking out a person every day.
Yeah, and through the Max agency there, the Max Stacks, is it? What is it?
Well, you know what's so funny? Every time I heard that, I just kept thinking Max Factor with Jack Benny.
Max Factor.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching listening to Jack Benny while I was working last night. Nothing like Jack Benny, man. I know it's comedy. Comedy's great. So good, so good. How he did it for that many years, man, is unbelievable. But yeah, the agency is Max Match, and like Dave's going to talk about here in a second.
Do you want to talk about DIY craft real quick?
DIY craft. Oh, let me go back over to the other screen. Oh, well, thank you guys. It's nice to see some super chats. I'm not worthy. Yes, I am worthy. Hey, DIY craft, $2 super sticker. Lemon throwing a kiss. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, you guys, very, very much. Thank you. Much love back to you guys. Anyways, yeah, this is all about dating, man. When they started talking about dating, they talked about singles ads, singles agencies, and then they mentioned computer dating. Yeah. Boy, that would have been a thing to live through, huh, Dave?
Unbelievable.
I mean, you at least get set up for a date. I mean, so somebody's going to come. And whereas nowadays,
that one part where they had the punch card, here's your results.
Yes. I remember the Three's Company one, the computer dating. It hooked up Jack and Janet. But anyways, there was the singles apartment, Dave. What was that all about? Was that a thing?
I don't know.
You can only get an apartment here if you're single.
There's singles cruises.
But an apartment?
And I've heard apartment-free kids, but no singles apartments.
What if they meet somebody right away, and do they get kicked out? I mean,
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I just thought I'd throw it out there, Dave, you know?
All right. I'm glad you did. So basically, Kathy Lee Crosby, we see her doing some weird chants in ancient Greek. And
yeah, that's
this guy.
Chants, but
we see this guy jogging in the park, right? And he's this young guy, and he's cruising around. He's got this red little leisure jumpsuit on.
Yeah.
And then
it's like William something.
Then it pans back at him, and all of a sudden he's got some gray hair going on, and he's a little slower in the jogging.
Keeps running.
He gets to the park. And he's this old guy, and it's just like and he falls over on the ground.
Falls over dead of a heart attack.
Yes, and all of a sudden, Kathy Lee Crosby comes from behind a tree, and all of a sudden the bags are gone. She's Kathy Lee Crosby.
Dave, so funny. That scene was cracking me up. The transformation, like every shot they would go back, he's older, and running. And then there was a point where I look and I go, okay, does he not know that he's aged? Does he not know? Because towards the end, he's still going to it. And there was a speed sign behind him that said speed limit 20. And it was a grassy area. What was that a joke? I
don't know. I think there was a road nearby, wasn't there?
But that was on the grassy area. I listen. I don't know. It could be. It just seemed funny. Let me get to these real quick because I don't want to miss it. Raj Ram, $2 super chat again. Thank you, Raj Ram. Here's to the scary Skeletor skull on your desk, Dino. Thank you very much. I love that and like that. Thank you. Fluff Chick Productions. Thank you, Connie. $5 super chat. Thank you, Dino and Dave. Thank you. Thank you. Go. Wait, what is that? I can put a comment in there too. Look at that. You can even reply to these super chats.
Holy moly.
Oh, holy moly is right. Cubby was uncredited. Cubby. Who's Cubby? Is that the actor who croaked at the beginning, the jogger?
I guess so.
Yeah, I thought that was very funny. But that was cracking me up, Dave, so much. And yeah, basically, you know, the thing that got me with this being so, and hey, JLR, the thing that got me in this episode, and listen, I know we're coming up towards the end of the season and they've pretty much given up at this point, although it was still a pretty good episode. Dave really enjoyed it. But they were going basic and as basic as they can. That's why I'm interested to see this last episode where there's a lizard involved and how far they, even though I've seen the costume for that, it looks pretty bad. But it's just her going to the park every time underneath the same tree. It's almost like they filmed the same thing over and over, where she's looking up at the moon and she does saying her words as the guy's aging, and that's it. Or the woman, you know, is aging, but that's it, Dave. Yeah. Well, look at that. Oh, it highlights the name. Dave says "Wowza" to Fluff Chick Productions. So that's how it works. Oh, very interesting.
I wanted to try it out, see if it worked. Yeah,
there you go. Sally Skellington, what's going on? Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and check out the description below too, please. And check out the upcoming schedule. I listed about 3 or 4 more through December. So we're set for like a month with the streams with me and Dave on Sundays. So there you go. And continue, Dave. So yeah, this guy croaks over, man.
And I guess he's like stays the entire night without anyone finding him because we don't see his body moved until the next morning.
Yeah. I think this happens to most of them. They find them the next morning, like the next lady in the apartment complex, which
that was the best. Anyway, but we also noticed that there's a ring that slips off the guy's finger onto the grass. So that will come back and get later. We're now back at the Daily Planet, and this is the last time those all 4 are together in the same scene. Vincenzo comes in, says, "Hey, notice anything new?" And he's all like, "Hey, I lost 5 pounds. I'm not eating junk food. I'm doing yoga. I'm like totally a transformed person." And he's like looking really good in his suits and everything like that. And
he was looking at the donut, though. I mean,
he was, but he repelled that. He's all, "I'm all right. I'm strong." No. And then he tells Kolchak, how's that dating article coming? Because he's writing an article on the dating life, and you know
that singles article going on. Swinging singles, he called it, Dave.
Yes,
swinging singles, because back in the 70s, you know, you weren't just single, you were a swinging single, you know.
And Ron Updike says, "Hey, you should be able to do everything at 90 that you're doing at 19 if you eat right and exercise and everything like that," which I guess is true because Updike today is 90.
Okay.
We follow
good for him,
Vincenzo into his office where he takes some pills, and he's all, "That one's for cold and flu. That one's for what was it?
Vitamin E, muscles."
Yes, building muscles, you know, and he does his flex, and they start talking about the guy who died, going like, "Hey man, this guy is 4 miles away from, you know, any possible place where he could have like started jogging." And he also didn't have any ID on him, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, it almost makes me, let me get back to that real quick. Raj Ram says, "Dino, do you enjoy being a YouTuber?" I don't think I'm ready at this point, Raj, to say. Of course, I love being a YouTuber, but I'll leave it at that. Yes, I enjoy being a YouTuber. There are ups and downs, and there are things that have changed since I first started doing this, which has changed it maybe for the better in a lot of ways. But then I will have a stream about that later on in the future at some point. But I think the whole outfit thing, because another guy later who gets it is in a tennis outfit, and they're not going to play tennis. It's at night
in the middle of the city.
Yeah. So I think she sets the date up to kill them or to drain them of their age, and has them doing exercise, or tells them we're going to be just dress up like a tennis player, your best out. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking, Dave. I don't know. What do you think?
I tried not to think, because then that ruins the episode.
Okay.
But I did laugh at the guy in the tennis outfit, which we'll come to in a little bit. But we're basically at the very first matching, singles matching office, which is run by this lady. And I will get her name in just a moment, because
Stella!
It's not Stella.
Bella Sarkoff.
It is Bella Sarkoff.
I wanted to call her a madam, but she's just in charge.
That's what I wrote down. I'm like, this girl's a madam. She's
just in charge of a dating service, is what she is. But
she was way into it. I've got this person. I've got this person. What do you do for a living? Oh, you're a writer? Oh, not anymore. You're an author now, and she was just really into her job, and her office was really great too.
Yeah. Thank you, Rajram. Dino, just so you know, I'm very happy you are a YouTuber, buddy. Listen, I know there's quite a few of you guys out there who are the Late Late Horror Show family, and always will be, and I appreciate that. And thank you guys and everybody else who comes upon this and appreciates what I do. I really appreciate it. It was something else, Dave. I don't know. I think it was the start of, I don't know when madams, the term madam came. Well, that was back in the earlier days, like the cowboy days and Victorian eras. They were madams, right?
I would say so.
But
I also kind of laughed at a couple things. One is that her dates, they would set up over tea, and the girl would bring her parents. And I thought, this is really weird, Yeah. And then I wrote down, besides being a madam, she reminded me of Mrs. Kravitz from Bewitched. And I think it was a lot of the hairstyle and maybe just her mannerisms. But she talks about, as we had already mentioned, computer matching for spouses. And Kolchak's quote, "I thought that went out with love beads."
There were some good lines in this. There were a few good lines. A couple I couldn't even really write down. It was so fast, but yeah, they had some good lines. Ocean Waves, hello to everyone. Good to have you here. Right. First time in the chat. Good to see you. J.O.B. An enthusiastic madam. And Scott's Life says, yes, seemed like a matchmaker. Yeah. At some point there, I think in the 80s, it became something more than just, a dating agency. It became a little bit more than that, Dave. And that's all I'll say. But
her name was not Heidi Fleiss, so
exactly. It took a turn for the worse. Woo!
I actually met one time.
What's that?
I actually met Heidi Fleiss one time.
Really?
I did. It was about 2007, 2008.
Okay.
Met her on the campus of UCLA, of all places. And they had we have what's called the LA Times Festival of Books. And she had written a book. And she was in one of going to the carnival that you had all these authors and their different booths and things like that. And she was one of them who was peddling her books. And I also met Carrie Fisher at that same event.
Okay. Very cool, Dave. Yeah. See, there's some benefits to living close to Beverly Hills up over there, but
there is not very many, but
no, I got you. You're kind of surrounded and living in that state. But anyways, I love Colchak and Darren McGavin, Ocean Waves. Yes, if you haven't checked out, listen, we're coming up to the last episode pretty soon, and we've covered every single episode, and there is a playlist for all of the Kolchak reviews or discussions that we've done on this, and you could check that out from beginning to end.
There's also been 2 trivia nights.
Yes,
one for each of the films.
Yes.
And you also did the first film with Ted. I did the second film with you, and then we've done the 19 episodes. So there's a lot of Kolchak on this channel.
There most certainly is. But I think the biggest thing is this kind of Kolchak video podcast type thing that we've done here with going through every single episode. And let me tell you, they've been great discussions, highs and lows, and they've all been fun. And some episodes better than others, but they've always been great discussions, that's for sure. But yes, I think now we jump right into the second victim.
We do.
Yeah,
and jumping is the definitely the term.
Yeah, nobody was in any really good workout outfits. I mean, the guys had
this one. I think her name was Jill. Was that the second one?
Cynthia Tibbs.
Oh, Cynthia Tibbs, right. Okay, so Cynthia Tibbs is out on her patio, and we only see her kind of really from the shoulders up. And she's, exercising and, like this and like this. And she's stretching and everything like that. And it's so funny because every time she dips down below the camera, you know what's going to happen. Little gray comes in, little bags under the eyes again.
Every time she pops up from her touching her toes.
And then she's all, oh, I'm so tired. And she turns around.
Like I'm aging. Oh.
She turns around and sees her reflection in the sliding glass window.
I would think after the fourth dip, when she was like totally like maybe 100 years old. What the heck happened there? Are we still on air? My browser said, "Oh snap. Shoot, what is going on?" Okay, I reloaded. Whew! Thank goodness. Dave, what was that all about? Yikes. We're still alive, people. Oh my God. Something is going on with the internet here or something. But yeah, I would have thought at that fourth dip when she came up, you would think she'd feel like,
or her back. Oh, my back.
Something that, her back or her hip would break, from that lunging that she was. I don't know. It was really weird. And what killed her was not the old age at the moment. I mean, I guess it would have got her, in a couple seconds, but it was being scared at a reflection and she falls off the balcony.
First of all, I knew when she's on that balcony that she's going to go over the edge of that balcony. And when she falls, she does a somersault, like a cartwheel. She goes, woo, like this, sideways over the edge. It was fantastic. That may have been one of my best kills in Kolchak.
Oh, it's so funny, Dave. So funny. Mr. Ed says, listen, I'm getting back to it's been how many has it been a year? But I am getting back to Saturdays are going to be Outer Limits and Night Fright. I mean, not Night Fright. Oh my God. I'm losing it, Dave. Night Gallery reviews. So I'll be talking Night Gallery and Outer Limits on Saturdays coming up here. I think next week is what I'm going to start doing it. So get ready for that. I'm in the mood for them, and I need to start getting a Saturday show too. Perhaps we'll get more comments. Let's see.
Well, speaking of comments, we're at the top of the hour. How many, or bottom of the hour?
Yeah.
Thumbs up do we have?
We got 61 thumbs up. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, please hit it. Like, you can't. You know what? That's the one thing I wish YouTube would do. I wish they would do live commenting, where you can comment on a video, even if it's going to go live. I think that's a big mistake that they don't do, because live shows don't get a lot of comments, because once it ends, you leave,
Yeah.
and the comments aren't there, and there's not enough interaction there. So I think that's one thing that YouTube should change. Are they going to? Who knows? I don't know. But thank you all. Hey, Andrea and everybody else coming back in. Just checking out. Listen, I'm going back and forth restream in there. So I will be there for the show. Thank you. And you know what? It's the end of the series, but I don't think it's ever going to be the end of Kolchak talk. I think eventually we'll find something to talk about to bring us back to Kolchak, I think. So lots of things to talk about.
Well, I know there is a lot of fan fiction of Kolchak out there. And I kind of want to get into that a little bit. And I think one of our guests, I can't remember his name. He was so fantastic from Nashville, Jeff Thompson.
Yes,
Jeff Thompson mentioned that there's a Kolchak meets Barnabas Collins.
Comic book, yes, or a graphic novel. Yes. I think we can. I'm up for that, Dave. Awesome. We can keep that going, and we can kind of fit that into this kind of Kolchak podcast type thing we're doing here. So yeah, I'm all for it. Yeah, I'll look into it. I'll look into the Kolchak stuff. So yeah, she basically dies, falls over her balcony, and we find out that she's in one of these singles apartments.
Yes.
Because the next day, Kolchak is coming to check in on this apartment complex because he is doing his research on the swinging singles article he's supposed to write for Vincenzo. And this is where we're introduced to the sergeant. He's a younger guy. He's new. Sergeant Orkin.
Yes.
He's a nicer guy who wants to work with the press.
A totally different sergeant than we're used to.
Yes.
I did want to mention, though, before he comes in, he's doing some talking about, like, I'm researching the singles scene, and I'm in, I've gone to the singles bars, now singles apartments, and heard all about these things. And he mentions the term Harvey Wallbanger. Is that a drink?
Oh, Dave.
I don't know what that is.
You are a 70s connoisseur and office man with leather chairs and libraries, and you don't know Harvey Wallbangers? Yeah, they're a thing. They're a drink.
Okay. I
think it's something with scotch. Listen, I'm not a drinker. I've never touched a drink in my life, so I don't know, but I've heard plenty. So, but yeah, if somebody wants to tell us the ingredients to a Harvey Wallbanger, please do.
Because I remember my dad,
something that'll knock you on your ass. Go on,
Dave. He would drink like Harvey's Bristol Cream, as a separate thing, and that was the first thing I ever drank, which was really bad. Which is also probably why I'm not a drinker today. Yeah. But it was just like, is that part of the the drink or whatever? But anyway, it was just a blast from the past.
No, yeah. It's a drink. I don't know what because Sin City Jim says a very 70s drink. Yeah. Mr. Ed says, remember, you can always leave a comment anytime. Yeah, I mean, I would appreciate that. You can go to any stream on the channel, and if everybody that was here right now did a comment or two here or there on an older stream, even it might boost up the channel. Get so many comments, boy. You should have a lot more subscribers than you do, but if you don't do those certain things, it doesn't, it kind of holds you back. YouTube just is all algorithm driven. So listen, I'm beating this with a wet stick. I don't know. Fast Hemi, Skinwalker Ranch. What? Yes, it's a drink. Hello, everyone. Fast Hemi, good to see you.
Black Rosa says Kolchak at Skinwalker Ranch.
Are those actual comic books, Black Roses? Is there actually one with Kolchak? I got to look into this. And Kolchak with Mothman. I've seen artwork for these comic books, but I didn't know if they were real things. So I'm definitely going to have to go check that out, Dave. That would be fun to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Richie Gray, 1970s, 77-ish. I like... we did at the time. It was fine for a while. Yeah, father was a top of the town. I'm not sure any of that means. Have you been drinking a Harvey Wallbanger, Richie? No, welcome to the chat and welcome to our stream. Ian Sharp says vodka and orange is a screwdriver. Okay, somebody can look up Harvey Wallbanger for me. Anyways, no, I wish there were. Oh, Black Roses. Just wished. Okay, see. Every time I hear Harvey, I think of the Honeymooners. Harvey, the episode with the pool hall, where what am I talking Honeymooners for? Because it's one of the greatest shows ever. But yeah, Harvey is the big guy that Ralph or Ed says, he'll beat you up. He'll meet you anytime, anywhere. You know, he always got Ralph in trouble. Anyways, back to the show, Dave.
All right. So Kolchak can't get into the singles apartment because there's a gate.
Yeah.
And he walks back to his car, but just then the police show up and an ambulance and the coroner.
Yeah,
and they kind of walk past him into the facility, and he just kind of walks in with them, and he has a big old ass-eating grin on his face and like, hey, I'm part of this group. Yeah. And we see the people in the tennis outfits looking over the hedges, and sure enough, there's this old 90-year-old woman dead on the ground.
Yeah. I guess they're all. If the first one they said 90, and then they said 100. She's like 100 years old. The mortician says, and then you find out they're all 100 years old. Basically, they reach death at 100 years old. That she sucks the life of them, and their body is that of a 100-year-old. So I don't know. It was a little weird, but listen, they were old.
It was, and the sergeant I thought was a kind of a cool sergeant. He was all like, yeah. You're Kolchak? Yeah. Like, you know, he was expecting something else, you know, and he's all, you should hear what the other sergeants say about you. And
yeah, they don't talk very nicely about you. That's for sure.
They call you a pinwheel.
Oh yeah. And they well, we'll talk about that. They kind of tease the sergeant after a while about that.
Now, did you ever see Dobie Gillis? The Many Lives of Dobie Gillis, or I forget what it's called.
I have not, Dave. No, I haven't.
I have not either.
Okay. Well, let me love and like. Here's to my buddy, Professor Dave. Can't forget him. Thank you, Raj Ram. I really appreciate all the super chats you've been doing lately. Thank you. Famous Harveys from the Honeymooners and the Rabbit with Jimmy Stewart. There you go.
That's what I think of when I think of Harvey.
Yeah, Jimmy Stewart. Yeah. Jimmy Stewart, say. Yeah. Okay, Dave. So they're all looking at this guy. They eventually go and they take him away, and he's saying, you know, I'll work with you. You know, we you know, I'm that kind of guy. You know, I might find something out working with the press. So yeah, a little different kind of sergeant there, Dave.
Yeah, but I also thought it kind of lacked the funness of the sergeants that just hate him.
Oh, yeah. No, I 100% like that better. I like them being angry at him and telling him to get the hell out of here, Kolchak.
We're going to put you in jail.
Yeah, we don't deserve. Listen, the first half of the season of Kolchak was just unbelievable. He drops, there's a ring that's dropped from the body.
The woman, yes.
Yeah. And Kolchak picks it up, and the cop goes, there, I'll take that. Or the sergeant says, yeah. Kind of funny. And then we're transported to the city morgue where we meet Gordy.
It was so nice to see Gordy the Ghoul back.
It was. Yeah, he's got and I love the interaction between them two. You know, their characters played off of each other very well because, you know, Kolchak always promises, you know, I'll give you $10 if you let me in on what's going on with this case or something like that. And I guess he never followed through with it. You know, like that guy that always owes you $20 or something, Dave, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. But he threatens them with, well, it doesn't threaten them, but he says, listen, you're getting nothing else until I get a TV. I thought that was funny.
Color. And it's going to go right over there on the wall.
Well, and what do they compromise with? Kolchak goes
black and white, 18-inch used.
Yeah. So and then Gordy's like, oh, where am I gonna put it? It's gonna go right there while I'm working on the body. Ay. So yeah, so they're just basically at the morgue, and he's basically, I think, trying to find that ring, but he ends up finding a glass eyeball, Dave.
It took me the longest time to understand what the hell's with the eyeball, and why is there only one? You know, I'm like, is this an episode of Columbo? What's going on? So,
well, you were thinking maybe they were putting the glass eye in the dead body.
I didn't know what it was for.
Okay,
But
well,
then I realized. Then it's like, oh, it's because he's not perfect. He's got a glass eye.
yeah, and all these victims that she has to suck the life out of have to be perfect.
They do.
Yeah, and I don't know if we want to get into quite yet, or you could, about who is Helen? Like, what is she? What does this whole episode revolve around? I mean, she's Helen.
We're going to go to her next, but I
Okay.
think we should leave who she is to the further in.
Okay.
I do like how Kolchak tricks the coroner.
Yeah.
You know, looking that way where his TV is going to be, and he sneaks in and grabs a apartment key.
Yes. And the glass eye he gets. Don't he? Or does he? No, he picks it up at the apartment later.
Right. That's I guess when he wants to be a different color glass eye.
Yeah. Today I feel like a green. You know. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what the girl likes, right?
I guess so.
Although he can't really change the other eye.
True.
Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about eyeballs here. But yeah, no, he's trying to get the key in the certain doorways and stuff because he's back at the apartment complex, right? Isn't that where we're at?
Well, we're not quite at the apartment.
Okay, then I take it back.
Well, we're headed to see this Helen chick for the first time.
Ooh.
In her
More, Dave. Tell me about that.
In her boudoir.
Yeah.
This guy comes in and she's Max?
Oh, yeah, it's Lance.
Yeah.
Lance, very studly Lance, coming to be hooked up with a female, and Helen has him in there. And go on, Dave. I'll jump in when I need to talk about this guy, because this guy, woo, he's something else.
Well, he's also got that.
Not that way. It's a weird. Go ahead.
He's got that punch card going on.
Yeah.
And she's all, you are perfect. And he's like, well, hello, and
that's what got me. He was creepy. He was creepy.
He was.
Hey.
He wasn't like Dick Gautier creepy, where it's like, hey. But he was
after this scene. Please let me talk about that when he's at ironing. Okay, that's all I'll say.
All right. Well, I'll just point out that he basically gets a scroll that says like, you are an Olympian, and it's just like, and it's so funny because it's just, there's no fancy artwork or anything like that. Again, into the series, they just typed out, you are perfect, and then it's like, there's a line where you write your name, and she writes his name, Lance. And you have all the vestiges or whatever of the Olympian club, and here's a ring for you and all of that.
The ring, the scroll. Doesn't have to pay for it, she said.
No, because he's too perfect.
Yeah, he's perfect. Hey, Mary H. Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. William Cromer is here now too. There you go. Curtain craftsman's tools are made out of Scott's Life. Just brings up some random facts. Yeah, they're made in some. Yeah, I ain't getting into that. Let's see, 1974-ish. It was a lot of fun back down. It was different for fun. Richie, what's going on? Probably on your phone. Hard to type on your phone there, Richie. I get it. So yeah, okay. So all of that happens, and when they're sitting on the couch, he looks at her, and again, he reminds me of this like perv or something like that. He goes, "When do we get to the action?" That's his line.
Yep.
Then we jump scene to where he's at his apartment. No, he's at his mommy's house. He's ironing his stuff to go out for the night with Helen.
His tennis clothes.
In his tennis clothes, he's ironing them. Remember the day when we were ironing our clothes?
Oh my gosh, totally.
I mean, does anybody still iron clothes?
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're past those days. Usually the dryer does a good enough job to get the wrinkles out. But anyways, he's at mommy's house. He's dirty, and she's hollering at him. What? I don't even understand you. And why are you using one of those agencies? There's a, I don't get it. And he's just like, Mom, get off my back. He's like, well, it cracked me up.
It reminded me of Saturday Night Live with John Travolta. Don't touch the hair. The hair's perfect.
Hair, Mom. That was so, Dave. Funniest part, I think, in the episode.
It was great. And I love also where he goes, Mom, I'm just trying to find someone like you.
God, how terrible and how strange that is and how disturbing.
It was disturbing on multiple levels. I do want to point out the mother. I think her name was Penny. I
want to point out the mother.
She was one of those background characters that's been in like 150 different TV series and films.
And you have no idea who she is because she's older now and in a 70s TV show.
Yeah.
How it usually went back in the 70s, which I think is kind of cool. Always look at the IMDb to these shows back in the day and look at what they used to do. And you would be surprised at, how accomplished some of them are,
Well, there's one person that I will also mention now. He's at the very bottom of the IMDb listing for this episode. Bob Harks, born 1927, died 2010. And he was just a guest at the hotel during that part of the episode. He has over 500 credits on IMDb,
Woo!
The most I've ever seen. But he plays a waiter. He plays a person at the bar. He was in our the Kolchak episode, or not Kolchak, the Columbo episode of. He was actually in 11 Columbo episodes.
Wow.
But he's like the person who, like, when we were talking, hey, do you know if it rained last Tuesday? To the guy next to him, he was the guy next to him.
Yeah, tons of bit parts and just kind of there.
Yeah, just really, really cool though.
Imagine just hanging around on sets all the time and just being plopped in. Can you imagine the story of his life? He's just being, he's like, I'm here. I'll sit next to him over,
Well, in like 1975, he has like 50 credits. And I'm like, that's one show a week.
Yeah, very funny.
Great, dude.
Well, listen, work is work, Dave. I mean, put in 2 hours or so. Anyways, I got to talk about the next scene too, because it's just as funny. And hey, Ian Sharp, good to see you in the chat. And yes, Raj, I do love seeing new people in the chat. Always do, always will.
We also have Sohan.
Really? Okay. Sohan, I'm good to see you.
It makes me curious as to what.
Yeah, I'm too.
I'm happy.
I'm. Dave, can't you just be I'm?
No.
Okay, I guess you can.
Because, contractions.
Something needs to follow.
Yeah.
I'm sad. I'm happy. I'm excited. Or I'm about ready to die, as in the next scene, Dave, which we pop to Lance in his tennis outfit. Going to...
literally skipping down Broadway.
Skipping down Broadway
is my beat. This would be Broadway is my swing.
And he doesn't even make it too far in the park where Helen is under a tree looking up at the moon, sucking his soul dry. And he starts to walk. And I love how quickly they jump to the scene of him being just old. And
and he looked.
God.
I mean, the other people who die, right? Okay, so first of all, the other people who die, you can tell they're bleaching their hair gray. It's got to be fun with the makeup there. But here they put in a totally different actor because, first of all, his pants would never have fit. his
No.
shorts. He's got like now a big belly. He's old. He's like decrepit. And
Button
it
would
was
have popped.
great. Oh,
It was a totally different man, even though it's like he aged, and but yeah, it was a totally different person. And I loved how he sauntered. I'll use that word sauntered. He sauntered to the bench where he's getting ready to feed pigeons and die.
Yep, that's exactly what I wrote.
But he's
too old, too quick.
Yeah, and he plops himself down, and he's victim number 3 is what he is, and it's so funny. And let me get to Rajram. Dino, here's to all the new folks in the chat. Thank you very much. Look at that. 8 likes on that super chat. Thank you, Rajram. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Good Jimmy Stewart. Yeah, she's Mary. I used to be really good. I've gotten worse, Dave. I get it. Anyways,
because you're not doing Saturdays, because that kept you in practice.
Yeah, well, Saturdays.
But actually, for those of you who are new, we would actually on the Saturday trivia nights and caption this. We'd say, "Hey, Dino, can you do Shaggy? Zoinks!
Zoinks! It's like really weird, Sandy. Anyways, Sandy's coming back. So there you go. Everyone from agency is dying. This is another question I had. Doesn't there come a point, because she needs a victim every night, Dave, that the agent? Well, I know the agencies don't last very long. We find that out. So that kind of makes sense, because everyone at the agency there's always. Can you imagine somebody dying all the time? Although they can't put 2 and 2 together yet, that these old people are the young people.
Right. That's what we need Kolchak for.
Exactly. Yeah.
But when we get to that agency, and again, all I can think of is Max Factor.
And hello, Eric Shosted. Okay, go ahead. Max Factor. Max. Now you got me. Max Match is the agency Helen works for. I'd love to go to that agency.
I would just hang outside the agency, because there's babes who work there. They're bustling. All the guys coming in going like,
they're bustling. They're bustling. Okay, go ahead.
It's like, give me an application. And when Kolchak comes in, you're better with your Jimmy Stewart but when Kolchak comes in, he's ignored. It's like,
oh yeah,
get out of here.
And the 2 guys next to him who are filling out the applications, they're going in depth about, well, I'm going to put that I'm a vegetarian, and I'm rigging it so that it makes them look even better than they are, But yeah, a bunch of good looking people, and Kolchak's being ignored, and until Max actually says, I'll take care of it. Come on in, and starts to talk to him.
Now, in that part where he starts to go upstairs to that back room where it ends up being her temple, she gets up on the stairs, and he's just like staring at her mid-chest. Did you catch that?
I didn't catch that.
Oh man, it was great. He's, well, hello. It was just so funny. And then he starts taking out his camera, because she's all, I didn't know authors or journalists needed a camera. And he's all, well, I don't even know if this works. And he's all click. And
he goes, he's accidentally taking snapshots of her, which was pretty slick on his part. But he also shows that he's wearing the ring, which is interesting. She didn't question how he got the ring, maybe just from, he found it or something. I don't know. Maybe there's millions of rings everywhere. I would think so, if she's been having to kill somebody. Well, kill somebody a day every single night or something.
Yeah, but that ring scared me, in that it would lock on your finger, and not even mayonnaise could get it off.
Is that what he was using? The cabbie, Kaz the cabbie, and we'll talk about him in a second. He's a great guy. Buddha, I get you. Yeah, that was mayonnaise, or was that lard?
No, it was mayonnaise.
No, it was mayonnaise. So mayonnaise is supposed to be good, huh?
Yes, so it's really greasy.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Not as greasy as the dinner I'm going to have later, but
Oh my. Well,
yeah.
what? Okay, no. Well, let's get into it real quick. What is it?
Oh, we got to talk Dave and Dino food. No,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to a greasy spoon near me for dinner, and probably just do a turkey sandwich, turkey melt. You know,
Okay. Okay.
maybe even if I'm feeling like it, maybe even what is that called with a hamburger and onions and
Onion rings and.
not onion rings. I can't think of the name now, but
Okay. Okay. Well, no. It's either way. It sounds a greasy spoon, good old burger joint or whatever it is.
yeah.
Does it got the like nice booths in there that you could
Oh
sit
yeah,
in?
yeah,
Like a
totally.
throwback? Yeah.
Not quite throwback. Maybe throwback to the 70s, like what we're talking about today.
You know,
But
there was a great hot dog place around here, and it's still around. It's in Cleveland, and it's like the best hot dog place around, but it's in the worst neighborhood. Okay, and you know they've got a reputation, but I went in one time, and it's your typical. It's like straight out of the '70s, Dave. This dude had an apron on that wouldn't pass food code. It had like all kinds of grease, ketchup, mustard, all things you know he's just, and he's got no gloves on. He's just wiping it on there and stuff. And he took the spatula and he put it under his arm. And I'm like going, I'm leaving. This is not what I wanted, but I really wanted the chili dog. It's called Steve's Hot Dog in Cleveland, Ohio. If you want to look it up, it's got a rich history going on. But oh my God, Dave, I'm like health code, and this was like a decade ago, and I'm like going, oh, forget this. Anyways, food talk by Dino is over now, and back to the show.
yeah, and it was just a patty melt is what the food I was thinking of.
Oh, there you go. Yes, so that's on rye.
Yeah, it's on rye, got some cheese and onions, and it's really good.
I used to go late night to Denny's and get a patty melt, and Denny's would make a good patty melt, at least back in the day. I mean, I would think they still got the same recipe.
I'll tell you, since we're on food here too, when I was younger, you know, I'd work during the day, you know, normal 8 to 5, 9 to 5 in the nursery. And then I would take a class at the community college at night. And so, you know, get off work at 5, head over to a class from maybe 7 to 9 p.m. And then my buddies and I, we were into golfing. We would go to the driving range. And so we hit balls off of the driving range until about 11. And then we were like looking for places to eat, like, you know, the greasy spoons and stuff. And there was this one place near me. And this was the last time I went in. And I think it's called Mike's or Tony's or someplace like that. And we walk in and there is a cockroach running across the griddle. And there's a guy trying to hit it with a spatula. And
no.
Turned and left. Oh man, it was awful.
It's, you know what? There's something, this sounds so stupid. Something charming about that. the old place that was like that you would go to, and you know, you would have the greasy like machine where you would play your video games. The butter's on there. It's super old, you know, stuff's on the, I don't know. There were places that I grew up eating in places like this, you know, but I mean, now as an adult, I would look at it and go, oh my God, no way. But that's funny. Let me see if I can get this right. Nazreen Akhtar. Nazreen. Well, hello, Nazreen. And somebody said something. Nathan says this episode is my second favorite episode next to the Headless Fonzie.
Hold on. I'm actually deleting Nathan right now.
Oh.
I'm just kidding, Nathan. Just kidding. Have you not seen the werewolf? Have you not seen the vampire?
Have you not seen the zombie? I mean, come on, dude. Dave, I've always said somebody's worst horror movie is somebody's favorite.
Yes.
So listen, Nathan could be pulling the wool over our eyes I don't know what I was doing with my hands. I'm Italian. They do all kinds of things. Sometimes I can't control them.
So I sent both you the link and I put it in the chat.
Ooh.
When I was younger and in my 20s, I worked in Pasadena, and this was our favorite burger joint, Lucky Boy Burgers. They are to die for.
Oh,
the
my
hamburgers,
God,
the tacos, and that breakfast burritos, chili cheese fries. They had back. This is early not early 80s.
We'll get back
late
to the
80s.
show. We're talking food.
We will. Literally, they had a cigarette machine inside the place where you could buy packages of cigarettes. You had.
There we go.
There we go. Oh my God!
Look at that. Yeah, if everybody want to get hungry,
zucchini. They would have that. That's not even showing their BLTs. Their BLTs, you had like thick bacon, tomatoes, lettuce. It was just delicious.
Well, they got everything.
You would also get like their iced tea. They did something to their iced tea. If you had it after noon, it would keep you up all night. I mean, it was strong tea.
Look at that. Okay, now I'm getting hungry. Look at that burger. Oh, what is that?
That's their pastrami. It's old time pastrami, mustard, hoagie, and pickles.
That looks like it would put me in the hospital, Dave.
Again, the great thing about this is it's 2 days of meals.
Okay, yeah.
Chili cheese fries. That's their large.
That looks good. Ooh,
their breakfast burrito.
Yeah, I don't know why they throw the little like healthy avocado over there. There's a heart attack on a plate, and here's some avocado. Onion rings look pretty good. Okay, there we go. Lucky Boys charbroiled.
So you can eat outside or inside. So
okay, I'm going to stop sharing that and get back to Kolchak. Thank you, Dave. That was nice of you to get us really, really hungry. So here we go. Where are we at? Let's see. Okay, Kolchak comes back. Okay, so yeah, after he's meeting, he comes back to break in and sees the ceremony that she's performing.
I think Nathan hates us now.
Why is he? Nathan don't hate us.
He retracted a message.
How dare you?
I think it was an F you, Dave.
Heartburn. Yeah. No, that's all kinds of. Listen, you need to prepare yourself and like fast for a week before then. Give yourself some room in your stomach. Do it early in the day so you got plenty of room. And then just load up on Pepto and all kinds of stuff. Some ginger ale. And don't eat all of it. Eat maybe a quarter of it. That's what I do. But anyways, okay. Mr. Ed made his own version of a Big Mac tonight. I am the burger. Oh, good for you. Oh, man, I'm getting hungry, man. We got to stop, Dave.
All right.
Okay, so the ceremony. He sees her performing the ceremony and all of that stuff.
He sneaks back in. He leaves, but he comes back because he goes, I want a midnight interview.
Yeah, I want a midnight interview too, Dave. I mean, come on.
He sneaks in through the window. Yeah. And there's no one at the office, but he hears some chanting, and he goes back into that secret room, and there she is in her little toga, and she's giving some offerings or whatever.
Don't say little toga. It's actually a long toga.
It could be littler.
It could be. Thank you. That's all I'll say. Yeah, she's still very beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I saw that part of the episode, I'm thinking, that's totally different than how things are today. There's alarms on the windows, there's cameras inside. Yeah. You can't have those interviews anymore. And behind the drapes is kind of like an interior of a Greek temple. But he's trying to record her, and when he clicks it off, the recorder makes a noise. She jumps. Kolchak runs and jumps over the counter of the main store, and he kind of hides behind there.
The main store? This is a dating agency.
The main agency.
The store that you were
1966. You're not very nice.
Wait, what happened?
Bradka says, well, he's, I think, one of the ones looking for us to watch the film.
You know what? I'm going to bring it up again just because it annoys me so much. Bradka, 1966. And again, you could be just trolling and be, you know, a troublemaker. But, you know, I get these, Dave, so often where they come on and they go, I thought I was getting the episode, or I thought I was getting the movie. And here I got these dumbasses talking about, I'm like going, you know, I never comment because they're so stupid.
Right.
It's like if your mind is that dumb, okay, that you can't read the title of a video that you click on, Dave, okay, and understand that this is not the movie, it's a discussion, it's an episode review, something like that, you're just an idiot. You know, I just, it's a pet peeve of mine. I just can't take it. And again, I know probably most of these people are just being a-holes. You know what I mean? But
I agree, 100%.
Anyway,
Thank you, Connie.
So we get to the next victim, I think, right?
We do. We don't even get to see her when she's young, which made me upset.
Yeah, I was a little upset too because it's Michelle. She's a first grade teacher and she's a mother. And they just show her dead as an old woman in the bed. So sad, Dave. She took a nap.
I love the quote.
And never woke up.
Never heard the alarm.
Never heard the alarm because she's
dead. What I love is Kolchak saying her first grade class had a substitute teacher the next day.
She
but
woke
you
up
know that
first
grade teacher is going to be kind of hot.
Well, I mean, I was waiting to see what did they? You can go down many paths. They run out of actresses that they could pay just to.
Well, they all heard the show was ending.
Well, okay, we'll just get you old and you're dead, you know that. But she's victim number 4.
She is,
you know, and then one of the better parts of the episode, man. Who does Kolchak go for help? He goes to the streets and he gets Kaz the cabbie, the Greek cabbie, and he's going to know everything because he's Greek, Dave.
He does, and he even knew the language.
He did, yeah.
That's not Greek. He goes, that's ancient Greek.
Yeah, yeah. And he says he goes, it's a prayer of sacrifice. And they mentioned that it needs to be a perfect specimen. He says that's what she's chanting. So it's a good thing this cabbie Kaz. I think he says he was a history teacher. I wish
he was a history professor, but he kept falling for the students.
None of this would work nowadays.
No, totally politically incorrect.
Yeah,
he just kept giving me younger and younger students. I'm like, oh boy.
Oh man, these 70s shows, I tell you. But yeah, the cabbie, and he's got a fare there, and he tells him just leave.
Oh, the drunk guy, the conventioneer.
Yeah. I live on the top floor with a penthouse. I live on the top floor of a penthouse. He was a balding little guy, and he tells him to shove off. I'm working with Kolchak. I'm interested in what's going on here now. And ends up going back to the. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
That's also a very famous actor who's been in like 150 different things, including what probably made him poor was Here's Lucy. In fact, several of these actors and actresses were on Here's Lucy, and that's just too bad. But The Drunk was particularly the movie that I know him from is Logan's Run.
Yeah. Yes. He had a big part.
You want to take a guess at the cabbie's real first name?
In real life?
Yes.
I won't look at IMDb. I had it up, but I can't remember.
Now on the credits, he is known as like Demetrios or something like that. He's got a really long Demosthene or something like that, which is actually his middle name. His first name is George.
My first name is George.
It's George Savalas. It is Telly Savalas's younger brother.
No.
Yes. Yes. And he's actually, the reason he uses his middle name is he was also in 114 episodes of Kolchak. So they didn't want to use Telly Savalas and George Savalas. So he went by Demetrios or whatever his middle name is.
You got to be kidding me. Oh,
I'm not kidding. But anyway.
Kolchak's younger brother. And JoJo is in the chat.
Hey.
Tuned in. We thought we lost you somewhere. Tuned in right as Dino was getting spicy with the troll. I can't take the trolls, man.
Well, you missed the food talk and you missed the Little House on the Prairie talk. So we're not going to redo that.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have to go back and listen to it. Unless you were listening, there was a lot of there was some food talk. Yeah, very interesting show. Listen, we can make the worst of shows. And I'm not saying this episode was, bad. It was middle of the road. I give it a 6 out of 10. Dave probably a little bit higher.
7, except for the last part, I'd given an 8.5.
The last part, 8.5. Okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, Dave.
But this is when we also, with the cabbie, we start learning about,
Oh, wait, no. Nathan throws out the Summer of George. It was the Summer of George. After Susan's death, he proclaims it the Summer of George. I'm gonna eat a block of cheese. I'm gonna wear sweats and just eat a block of cheese. I don't know. I think it's weird that you equate some bachelor paradise to eating a block of cheese, is what Jerry Seinfeld said. Just what the heck?
I actually like the tennis match where Seinfeld gets to date Marlee Matlin. And that's where they zoom in on George and he's eating ice cream and it's just all dripping down his face. And he's all, they didn't have any napkins. And the girl, she shines. She goes, yeah, there's never any napkins at that bar.
Oh, it's so funny. Okay. Hey, John Swan, what's going on? Good to see you. It wasn't a bad episode. No, it wasn't a bad episode. Not at all. Okay. So where were we? The Greek driver, a bunch of things are going on.
But the Greek driver is also letting us know now a lot about the Greek mythology and Helen of Troy and things like that.
The enemies would destroy the temple. Yeah, he kept going on that, she looks a lot like, or no, what did he say about Helen, the statue?
He just said, he goes, she looks like Helen of Troy and she's the most beautiful woman and blah, blah, blah. So
yeah.
Then we now kind of realize that she's, someone who's been around for thousands of years. Again, not very efficient with the amount of people she has to kill.
My God. I mean, how many is that? 1,000 years by 300,000 victims. I mean, give or take, taking a day off and just letting herself live a little old at times. Maybe I'm sure there were times she said, I'm going to just give up. I am this age. And then she looks in the mirror and goes, no, I need to suck the youth out of a couple people tonight. So yeah, whatever.
And we do get a funny scene that looks almost like one of the Gilligan's Island cups that Mr. and Mrs. Howell would drink out of.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a weird
umbrella.
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed to be drinking out of this. Yeah, it's just kind of a tumbler. My kids have like 1 million of these, and I don't know where they got them. I don't know. But I like the solid colors. This isn't a solid color, but Gilligan's Island, whatever.
All right.
Okay, Dave.
Quick stop back at the INS news service.
Yes.
And we've got the mayonnaise all over his fingers, and he's trying to get the thing out. And he tells Updike to answer the phone, and it's for him, and it's the madam from earlier, Bella Sarkoff.
Was it a little disgusting to you, him rubbing white mayonnaise all over Kolchak's hand?
It was very disgusting.
Yeah, a large Greek man rubbing mayonnaise all over Kolchak's hand in a massaging type manner that was not too pleasing. I don't know. It's odd.
Yes, but the madam calls and she goes, we have Natalie for you to go out with. She's a dental assistant. I'm like, yay. And
I love that Miss Emily, sweet little Miss Emily, put on her little hat like they would wear back in the 40s. turns around and looks at Kolchak and just shakes her head and goes, because she thinks he's trying to get a date from one of these services or maybe an escort. I don't know.
Maybe. But he ends up pawning her off onto Captain Orkin from the police department. Says, I've got someone who's perfect for her. And then he hears Vincenzo yelling, Kolchak. And he's, I'll be there later. No, I need you now. I'll be there later. Please. Please. And he, what's wrong, Tony? And he had been in a yoga pose and he couldn't get up.
Yes, he calls him in because he can't get up off the floor. And Kolchak tells him, you should have started easy. Like the first thing you should do. He goes, I did. I've just got my legs crossed. he grabs him with his mayonnaise-filled hand. I just imagine like
that was funny. That was
black hairs in there from the. Anyways, I'm not saying that. Listen, Rajram, for $2 super chat for a stream to rank all 20 Kolchak episodes. Well, we're going to do the bottom 5 and the top 5 of Kolchak. So we got that stream coming up. January? I don't know, somewhere.
No, it's our last broadcast of the year in December.
Okay, so there you go. The end of December. That's as far as we're gonna go. I don't. Listen, maybe there's a future where we rank all 20 of them, but we'll see. It's going to be bottom 5, top 5. But thank you very much, Raj. Really appreciate it, as always. And yes, Dave, he pulls them up and brings them out. And he still can't get that ring off. That's for sure. And Emily has exited, and that's it.
We have that quote that you wanted to give.
Well, now I gotta find it. Yeah, oh boy, it was something about the 90-year-old. Did you write it down?
It was basically something around he goes, I need that article on singles. He goes, no one's interested in 90-year-olds.
Yes. And she just pokes her head. She's looking as he says that, and she just turns away and leaves.
Yeah,
I felt so bad for Miss Emily. Yeah. I'm a big fan, Mr. Ed. What a tremendous spirit he had. Liz, thanks. He grew up watching his. Okay, I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. I love these old. I love these old shoes. I don't think you could get away with the thing that they got away with. Well, listen, you can get away with it. It's just, are people going to take offense to it? I'm of the mindset, and I've always been this way, that, listen, I know there's certain things you shouldn't say, but in the context of comedy sometimes and history, listen, you should be able to say certain things. This is a free country, and we are allowed to say whatever the hell we want to say. And I'm always going to do that. I've cut back on things that maybe I've said and that I shouldn't have said. There are some things, but it is what it is. Listen, if you can't take jokes or things in certain contexts, then I don't know what to tell you. You need to chill out in life, man. You really do. But anyways, not sure why I got into that, but go ahead, Dave.
I think we're in our very last scene now, where he goes to destroy the temple, and
because the cabbie told him the enemies would destroy the temple. That's the only way to get rid of it. But then, as Kolchak ran out, the cabbie said, "But I don't think that's what makes it work."
Yeah.
So and then Dave.
And then we get this great shot. He goes into this temple, right? And it's totally fake. All it is, I mean, I could do it here. You have a couple pedestals, you have some sculptures, you have a little urn in the center, and the wallpaper is all like Tuscany and like all these, well, that's Italian, Athens and Sparta, and you've got all these, Greek hillsides as, wallpaper. And so Kolchak starts having fun. He's like knocking over the pedestals and dumps over the urn. And Crosby's just kind of standing there with her arms crossed, like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, kind of laughing like this isn't what's, if you're trying to destroy me, this isn't going to do it. That's basically what she was telling him.
And she's got a great quote, like, Isn't that hard for someone of your age?
Isn't that kind of hard for someone of your age? Oh boy, yeah.
And he's all, actually, it is.
Don't get me started with All in the Family. All in the Family was is one of my favorite shows of all time. I literally wake up every morning, and as I'm waking up, I play the episodes. I mean, literally every day for years, a decade. I don't know. But yeah, he thinks this is going to be what kills. And she does mention, you've got that ring on. I could technically suck the life out of you right now. And what does he say, Dave?
I don't know.
Oh, really? Oh, he goes, well, listen, you can't do that because I am not a perfect specimen. Yeah. You know? And he says, and by the way, well, and before this, she said this won't work. And all of a sudden, the gods do speak after he tells him I'm not perfect, and she's trying, I guess she was going to try and do the spell, but he also said, well, you know, that the other victim you did earlier was not perfect either. He had a glass eye. And that's when all hell broke loose, and the ancient gods, Greek gods, had a storm erupt, and the glass fell in and everything fell in, and he ran to the back, and yeah, they're taking the life back from her. 1,000 years wasted, Dave.
They are 1,000 years wasted. And what's funny is not even funny. It's great. It starts raining inside that little vestibule thing. Yeah. And it's getting her toga wet. And it's just like, this is fantastic. And then the show ends. We have Kolchak talking into the tape recorder, and he puts his arm around this sculpture of Helen of Troy, because the gods have turned her into
a statue. Yeah, I thought that was quite unique in turning her to a statue, kind of like Medusa. Yes. But yeah, no, that's the episode. Kathy Lee Crosby, Helen, looking good at the end, Dave. You know, I think the room was a little hotter. You know, like the temperature was turned up, Dave. You know, am I wrong? And there was a little glow
studio
going on. Yeah, and she she just, you know.
But how fun also would that be to be Kathy Lee just screaming, bah, bah, for like a minute? She's screaming. It's great.
Was it great? I think the screaming kind of was irritating. She could have screamed a little better scream, but the scream was a hysterical scream, Dave, not a pleasant one. She was dying.
She was. Well, she was turning into a statue.
Yeah, she was hardening. Anyways, Dark Shadow, such a classic. I love that show. Can you imagine me and Dave starting on Dark Shadow series?
Oh, good Lord.
Hey, Dave, do you got a decade?
Hold on.
I'm down.
1,000 divided by 52. Yeah, it would take 19 years for us to go through an episode a week.
No, is that what you got?
Yep.
Oh, holy heck. So yeah, no, that's impossible.
You know how old I'm going to be?
Yeah, you know.
I have to start finding Olympians and straighten the life.
You've already invested in a nursing home. You've already got something.
Hell, I've already invested in Forest Lawn.
Get your dog off my lawn. Well, listen, you're into that stuff anyway, so you're going to be doing that. But you know, that doesn't mean you're old. But or does it? I don't know. When you get lawn care, that means you're old, Dave.
I don't know. Hey, as long as I don't have to take my teeth out at night.
Well, yeah, that's a good thing. We don't want that. But yeah, that's the episode. It was so. We've got one more episode left, Dave. What do you think about that?
I think that
are you sad? Are you happy? Or
no? I feel accomplished that we've made it through the whole Kolchak series.
Yeah, same here.
And when you look it up, we are the definitive voice on YouTube when it comes to the Kolchak series, which is great.
Nice.
I love the earlier episodes. I hated the middle ones. I kind of like the ones at the end and everything. We'll talk more about our likes and dislikes in our final show. But I learned a lot. I had a lot of fun, and I'm actually looking forward to next week because we're going to be covering a show neither of us have ever watched before.
Yep, I've never seen the Mod Squad. I think it starts 1968, right, Dave?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, 1968. So it's a year I'm going to, hopefully I'm going to enjoy. I mean, it's a cult classic. Everybody loves Mod Squad, but you know, I'll be the judge. Dave will be the judge. We will see what we think of this, but I don't think we're going to be disappointed in the Mod Squad.
It's got to be better than The Prisoner.
Well, Dave, I mean, you know, come on. I quite like The Prisoner, but I can see where you're not. I can see how you don't like it. I get it, but we'll see. Mod Squad, we'll see. And I'm looking forward to the new. You didn't say. Let's do a recap on how many thumbs up. Let's see if we've broken. We broke 80. 80. We got 81. Nice. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, please do. Yeah, please hit that thumbs up button and please get a comment afterwards. And did you want to mention our upcoming shows? I don't think we did that at the bottom.
I don't think we have either. So let me bring them up real quick because I have them on the computer.
Yeah, do it there, say. Rocky wants to know. Yeah, say.
And I've got a note to talk to you after about something I want to do.
Okay.
So let's look here. We have the Mod Squad next week, The Prisoner the week after. That is episode 4. The week after that, the Wild Wild West. I love the thumbnail for this one, The Night of the Glowing Corpse.
Nice. Yeah. I'm just hoping the corpse is glowing because the synopsis doesn't. I'm like, well, where's the glowing corpse? It must be glowing.
It does. I've seen them all.
Okay.
Seasons. So. Then we have the Century, Kolchak, Columbo, Publish or Perish, and Kolchak wrap up. And then January 5th is our prediction show. We are booked through mid-February right now.
Yes. We are doing a prediction show, and that'll be fun. It's kind of a throwback to Art Bell, the paranormal overnight talk show host, where he would just take predictions. And I last year when we did this, Dave, I did ask everybody to try to reach inside and I wanted to be serious, you know.
Yes.
Whether it ends up funny or however we do it, we're going to have some fun with it. But you know, I'd like everybody to be serious about it when you do the prediction shows, so that we can the next year look them over and see if anybody hit on anything. And I am going to go over last year's show. I can't believe it's been a year.
I know.
And see if anybody hit on anything that I'm like, oh, wow, somebody said something that really actually came true or missed by that much, you know, something like that. So, yeah, I think that'll be fun doing kind of a psychic prediction show.
Yeah, and next year we're going to be having a lot of fun. We're going to be covering the Sherlock Holmes movies with Basil Rathbone. We are going to be doing Scooby-Doo episodes.
Scoob! I can't wait. Dave, that's my most anticipated. I can't wait till we do Scooby-Doo.
Where are you?
We're right here. It's over here. I mean, this is... Oh, I can't wait to talk about it. And I think people are really going to enjoy us talking about Scooby-Doo episodes.
I think so, too. Yeah. I'm also looking forward to our next Art Bell, which will be on Father Malachi Martin.
Yes. The Malachi Martin show with Remembering Art Bell, the next one that we do. It's going to be deep. Malachi Martin talked pretty deep about, you know, good and evil and... you know, a lot of really deep stuff. So
And I would also
but, yeah.
point out that right about then is going to be closing in on our 100th episode that you and I have done together.
Wow. Okay, 100 episodes. Holy Moses, Dave.
I
And
know.
I would sit here right now and take a moment to thank you very much for doing these shows with me every Sunday and putting up with me, because I'm not easy to be, put up with. But thank you. I appreciate you doing this with me.
I enjoy every Sunday.
And I have to point out JoJo saying there's only 204 episodes of Little House on the Prairie. Can you imagine us covering Little House on the Prairie on this channel?
No.
I mean, listen, I don't think it would fit, but that's funny because that's Dave's favorite show of all time.
I would hate that.
Listen, the wall.
I would let me just say this. We'll do that as soon as we're done with Dark Shadows.
Which means it's never going to happen.
Right.
Anyways, let's see how many thumbs up did we get. Oh, we got one more thumbs up after asking for more. If anybody's here that hasn't hit that thumbs up button, please do.
Maybe it was that guy who thought it was a shit show.
It could have been, yeah. Is this the movie that we're watching? It says Kolchak, the Night Stalker, Season of Youth Killer, Nights with Dino and Dave. Oh, huh. That's interesting. I think I'm going to watch this tonight. Honey, you got the popcorn ready? Our show's about to begin. Oh, Dave. What is going on? Let's try this chat. Yeah, hopefully that gets fixed. Don't know why the chat didn't work, but, you get me and Dave. Dave, look at me.
I don't know where to look.
No, the other way. The other way. Right there, Dave. Listen, you. Don't you dare. No. Okay. Man, 100 episodes coming up on. I can't even believe it. Oh, Dave's getting the hell out of here. He's leaving already. Look at this. All I know, after Dave got up, the first thing that I saw was that. Well, let me say it after this. Okay, we got Bo. Here we go. Look at Bo.
She's the paranormal cat.
Paranormal cat just woke up. And smacked Dave with her tail, and I think broke his jaw. He really kind of flew to one side. You all right, Dave?
Yeah, I'm all right. Just let her out. She's like, I gotta go potty.
He let her out from the chair. Wow. Everything Dave needs is like within distance. His stove is right in front of him. The fridge is like on the left side. Let's see. Anyways,
you don't even want to know where the bed is.
The shower is above him, and it just drops down, and a curtain comes right around him.
Got to be careful not to get the books wet.
But I noticed, Dave, when you got up, that something really strange is happening to that cup back there with all the pens. It's literally got no more room, and you're trying to make things fit.
No, I actually cleaned it out the other day.
Oh, maybe there's room, and it just was flopping over.
And I have been working on
maybe it needs the blue pill, Dave.
Maybe it just needs to watch Kathy Lee Crosby with a
the end of this episode. Anyways, it's been fun, Dave.
It's been something. One more.
Listen, I'm prolonging.
I really talking about Lucky Boy. I'm thinking about driving out to Pasadena now.
Oh, Dave's like really, really hungry. Let's see. It'd be buried at Forest Lawn in Glendale before Dave watches Little House on Prairie. Oh my God. She knows your neck of the woods, Dave.
She does. But I'm hoping to be ending up in Hollywood forever.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's where all the movie stars are, and it's haunted and all that. And they do movies. They're usually in the summertime. every weekend they'll have a different movie that they'll play on the mausoleum, and you come out with blankets and picnics and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that similar over here too. Like at the one park, and they put this big so that's kind of cool. But you saving up money for that, huh, Dave?
Always.
Okay. So well, or you might have to mortgage the house, whatever.
I'm hungry. Let's go.
But okay, no stream overnight tonight, you guys. Please dig into the archives and leave a comment after we're off the air here.